Here we have the 30-minute price chart for AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, stock ticker AMC. Here we can see that the stock is kind of falling victim to the broader selling pressure that is being seen throughout the market. Today, I just finished videos on NVIDIA, Apple, Meta Platforms. There's a large number of technology stocks. Tesla is seeing some major selling pressure today. There's a lot of downside price movement here that's being seen throughout the market. It's definitely a red day. The S&P 500 is down. The NASDAQ is down. There's not a lot of friendly activity that's occurring in the stock market today. So overall, some type of selling pressure here, would be expected. The bears are definitely prevailing today in the market as a whole. But what we can see here is that the declines here have been fairly limited. I mean, if you compare this downside activity to some of the other stocks, there's really a bloodbath in many other tickers right now, many other stock names. Tesla's collapsing basically. Nvidia is falling sharply lower. Meta Platforms is having a really bad day. So there's a tremendous amount of selling activity that's going on in the market as a whole. But what we can say here is that the declines in AMC have not been as bad. I mean, at least in broader terms here. I mean, the amount of money, in market cap terms that has been lost here, very, very small, even in percentage terms, compared to what is being seen in the rest of the market. So overall, I still find this to be a relatively encouraging development because I think the stock is holding up fairly well during a day like this. Going forward, what we have to do is we have to look at some potential support zones here. We are seeing a bit of a double bottom form here at roughly 515. So we're seeing a bit of support here. But one of the main problems here that I'm seeing is the fact that we are grinding through this moving average cluster. So as we can see here, we have broken below the yellow line here, which is the 30 period exponential moving average. The orange line is the 50 period, and then this purple line is the 100 period. Where it looks like we're attempting to find some support here. We did see a bit of a bounce as prices fell to this purple line, the 100 period EMA. We did even see a bit of a break back above the moving average cluster at that point, but the stock was not able to hold in this area. Given the broader selling pressure that's being seen throughout the stock market as a whole. We are trading back at this roughly 1515 level. We have seen a bit of a bounce here. 522 is the current share price. But to look to the downside here, as far as possible trend movements would be concerned, I would be looking at this 200 period exponential moving average, this blue line, which comes in at 506. So what this does mean here is that we would still be caught, if we were to test this level, we would still be caught inside of the exponential moving average cluster, and we would be holding above this psychological zone that's seen at $5 per share. For the most part, with a lot of these videos, I haven't really been paying much attention to that level specifically. I understand that $5 sounds like an important number, but in my opinion, that's just a completely random number. It could just as easily be $4.99 or any other number. But there is a certain amount of psychological importance that's placed on these levels. It wouldn't be totally surprising to see some support develop in that region too. The real level that I would be watching to the downside does come in at 490. If we saw a break here, I would be a bit more concerned. But the fact is we're not even really trading anywhere near that level currently. And we are already seeing some support levels start to develop just below 520. So, overall, this does kind of work in line with this kind of stair step, move higher. We've, very consistently here, we have seen higher highs and higher lows. So this is what you would need to see in place for a downtrend to continue developing. All of that said, this recent price action has brought a negative reading to the relative strength index on the 30-minute chart. So we are seeing some downtrend movement here. So that's not a good signal, obviously, but we are starting to approach oversold territory. And we're doing so well above the $5 mark. So that alone, I think, is an encouraging sign because it does suggest that we are continuing to find support levels at higher and higher levels. And what that really means, you have to think of this in terms of, the short seller positioning that's going to be active in the market. If just imagine yourself as a potential short seller, where would you sell the stock? I mean, it's a major question, and it is a question that people need to be asking themselves. So, if you were to imagine yourself on the other side of the market here, what exactly would be your strategy? Where would you go? And it seems to me that, your line in the sand here for that side of the market, your line in the sand is kind of inching its way backward here. It's moving higher and higher. As these support levels continue to kind of build here, we are seeing, a situation where if you were going to become, a short seller for this stock, you would have to start to look at your target zones as being price levels that are higher and higher, farther and farther away from this $5 mark. And overall, that is encouraging because, these people are having a much more difficult time in figuring out where to position their orders. So, currently, this is still encouraging. I mean, we're seeing a significantly negative day here. You're not going to just avoid that completely. You're not just going to dodge the bullet completely. You're going to see some selling pressure on a day like that. But overall, these movements to the downside have been fairly minimal, and we're already starting to develop some support here. So you can kind of see the staircase, developing here. We're just moving kind of higher and higher here, even on these negative days. So, to the downside, I would start to be a bit more concerned if we were to fall below this 490 level. I think that a lot of people are going to remain focused on $5. If we were to break below there and close below there, I think that you would start to see the quote game over, YouTube thumbnails, those ridiculous thumbnails. It's over. AMC, is it over? These ridiculous thumbnails or whatever. I think you would start to probably see that, but I wouldn't point to that level personally. I do think this 490 level is much more important. And then if we did see a break below there, I would expect to see more of a sideways consolidation type of period. Overall, what I would like to see here would be a break of this declining momentum reading in the relative strength index. If we're able to kind of stabilize here at current levels, we could really even just trade sideways here, and this trend line would start to break. I mean, it wouldn't be able to hold up to the downside. If we're at least able to see some support here and to at least see prices trade in a sideways fashion. Overall, it does look like most of the selling pressure is probably done for the day. We'll have to see what happens into the final parts of the trading session. But some of the stocks that have been hit, most heavily, have already started to recover some of their gains. So we could see some of that develop also for AMC. So here's the current market outlook for AMC Entertainment Holdings, stock ticker AMC.